Hey, Laura.
Hey, what's up?
I mean, I needed to bring the box, right, with like my old stuff from
Oh,
the
yeah.
team house. Could you like help me? Like, would you mind helping me out, like just sorting things
Yeah,
out?
show me what you have.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh.
It's just not that. Okay, here's the first thing. Is the Nautilus. Look, it has kind of the Fnatic logo. I don't know
It
if you
does,
see it on the.
doesn't
That's the one that I used it all the time. It brings so much memories, you know,
was
from
fun
the stuff.
times, man,
It was really fun split. So I think I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, you should keep this, definitely.
Yeah,
You can
I think
come back.
it's good. What's here? What
Oh, I'm not sure about this, man.
Okay.
It wasn't great last time.
Okay, sure. I mean, then, yeah, it's fine, okay. Oh, what about this one?
Oh, nice.
It's all support item, and I'm kind of sad that, you know, I didn't really
Yeah.
try to put anything new, but...
But a lot of players in the LEC are using them now. I think it's trending,
But-
right? You should keep it.
But honestly, yeah, I think I'll keep it. But
Yeah.
the thing is that they should be so much more active, you know, like try to be innovative. I don't know. Like you can never go wrong with a support item nowadays,
Yeah.
right? Like I think they should really abuse it. I don't know why.
Players being lazy.
If I was there, maybe I could do something more right. But you know, when it comes to when that time
Oh,
comes
what
up,
is this?
that's a Nasus, and I'm really thrilled about that one because even though it didn't go so well last time, right? Like it is what it is. But right now with the new Frozen Heart, the support new items, I even talked to LS yesterday.
No.
You
Okay,
know,
okay.
like,
I'm gonna stop you right there. All right? Like,
but
come on,
I
Shimmy.
didn't even get to the main point.
No,
Like,
but you don't need this. Who needs this?
like
Who needs
how do I not need this?
Stop! Oh. Burning the kitchen. To the Riot Games Arena here in Berlin, Germany for the final day of week 2 of the LEC. We're halfway through best of ones, and at the beginning of the day our first team will lock in playoff. I'm Laure, I will be your host for today, and I'm joined by GB and Trimby. How are you doing, guys?
I mean, you know, it's the third day. There's gonna be a lot of exciting things, I would say, upcoming this day. Especially the first game that, you know, will actually I think it does show who is locked in, right?
Yeah,
For the,
yeah.
For the
First team.
playoffs. So that already, you know, starting off with such a banger already, I'm actually thrilled to be here.
Yeah, and I'm just
Vibing.
excited with the talent we have here today. You hosting
I
again,
know,
it's
you're
been so
back.
long, but also getting the opportunity to work with Trimpy now. So yeah, super excited.
Well, but I heard something, you know, there was like something going on like last days about like, you know, you memeing a little bit, like
yeah,
having some...
you want to pull me back now?
Big-
or-
yeah.
I mean, I'm just like pointing it out there, you know, that there was something.
You might
But
come here to
be
steal.
fair-
Are you saying you're here to steal my job? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, to be
Because
fair,
Wunder was saying that,
I
Sheo was
just
saying
heard
that.
Okay, I see how.
Too many players coming for your job, GB. Anyway, we talked about the playoff spot, but before we talk about the good things going in the LEC, I want to raise a point about KC being last for now 0-5 in the LEC, the longest game we had since the beginning of the year in the LEC yesterday against Vitality. And guys, KC's run was sad so far, but yesterday was heartbreaking, really.
And to be fair, it did kind of look like one of those EOS solo queue games, which it's really not a good look, like if I may be honest. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. It felt like they had the best draft they could have, I think, this split. And it's still some of the things that happened, right? For instance, yeah, the misplay right now on the screen that kind of made the game so hard afterwards, right? It just felt, it felt really weird that with such like advantages or like draft that they had, they managed to not be able to get on top in this game. Kind of shows how much they struggle. And yeah, this also looked pretty solo queue-ish, even though it was like a, you know, play that could have worked.
Absolutely, and it's just like at some point we're just beating down a dead horse here,
Yeah.
because like you can make as many memes as you want to, but the true reality is after a game like yesterday with 3 winning lanes, a carry jungle that was getting ahead, perfect setup for winning that game, and they throw that away, it looks completely doomed. I'm sorry, but if you
Yeah.
can't win that game, then I don't know. It's just really sad.
And that's the thing, and that's when it becomes difficult, because mathematically, it's still possible. But when you lose a game like this, that you were supposed to win with everything, the draft that you wanted and everything, how are they going to show up today? Would you be scared in a situation like this, Trimby? Because we wanted KC to fight more and stay true to themselves, but when you lose in circumstances like this, I don't know, for me, you reconsider everything.
I mean, as you could even see, right, like the faces on of the players after the game like that, it drains so much energy out of you just to even try to win, right? And when you don't manage to do that, it doesn't go uphill from there unless you actually manage to pull things together. And especially with the format that is right now, they don't have that much time to actually manage things properly, right?
Everything goes so fast, and when you look at the other side of the standings, rather the top teams that we have in the league, G2, expected, I would say, and then SK and Team BDS, and here GB, this is where I think we have things to share. I did not expect this at the beginning of week 1.
Yeah, absolutely not. You know, the tier list from the Dracos and Dax last year might have been a year too early. This is the S-tier BDS they were talking about. They were just too quick with that assumption. And I think the biggest surprise, of course, has to be SK Gaming. You take a look at majority of the analyst tier list and fans alike, there's not a lot of people that expected them to be even middle of the pack, let alone be at the top of the standings. And they've been phenomenal.
And when I talked to Swiffer yesterday on stage, we were talking about him assembling the right mix of players. And you see it on stage, Trimby, already. When the SK collective play together, they know exactly what each player is supposed to do, and this has been working wonders for them so far.
Yeah, it looks like that the scouting that they did right before the season pays off right now. Even though, of course, when it comes to SK, and I'm sure Swiffer also said about it, right? Last year, it was a bit iffy after Winter Split, how they manage things. But I think right now, with how they deliver and how they look, especially with the team fights that are like they play extremely well, I'd say. I think it's gonna look good for them.
Absolutely, and it's kind of it's hard to grasp how good a team is going to be coming into off-season, because you don't know how they're gelling together. But the difference between a team like SK and K-Corp is that K-Corp looks like a team where nothing works together, and SK looks like a team where everything works together, which is something unusual when new members come together. I think Niski has been a great facilitator and a leader for this team, but Isma is also fantastic in terms of playing around his teammates. It's like they've been playing together for way longer than they actually have.
For me, what is going to be interesting about SK is whether they can keep this pace. We know that they started off like this last year. It didn't work so well for the remainder of the year, but it feels like the team is clicking so much right now. I just want to see how far they can go in the LEC and on the side of BDS instead. They made it to Worlds for the first time. When I talked to Nuke, he was telling me this was a really humbling experience, because you find out that actually you suck when you go to Worlds for the first time, but they came back much stronger, and they actually just have to rebuild with one new piece in the team, being the ADC. And yeah, how much do we like this version of BDS?
I mean, it feels like right now they kind of played the way they did, but it still looks a bit fresher, right? With like the addition of Ice, of course, and even now when I remember at first when we talked about them, right, we would say that they were playing this, like they were disjointed, right? They wouldn't play as a team, right? As 5 members trying to involve everyone into every single play. But now it seems like they caught the problem quite fast, and they managed to work it to fix it actually right now, and it feels really nice to watch them.
Yeah, and I think BDS is this kind of team where you can grasp the player strength from who they are from the get-go in the laning phase. They rarely ever fall behind. Where they start finding issues can sometimes be in the mid-game, but even now it looks great. And now they're coming into school here.
It's back to
great
school,
box
yeah.
Here.
Nuke getting out first.
Been
okay,
studying
sure.
their
Oh my god, the
set
backpack.
place.
I love it.
This takes me back, doesn't it? Actually, it doesn't. I've never had
I never had a school bus.
me neither, so I don't know why I'm saying that. I just felt like saying something. Did you have a school bus?
Good times,
I mean,
man.
I had, but not like this.
Nah, that makes sense.
No,
But
it's
yeah.
it's Staple School. But anyway.
Sorry, to get back to the point, I think that BDS is just this kind of team where they are perfect for this meta right now. They just need to fix some of their mid-gear every now and then. We heard that from the Sheo and Nuke on the desk as well yesterday. But it's just the fact that Adam can slot in whatever he wants to play in the top lane, and it's still gonna work. Nico, Asir, you know what? That's perfect for a guy like Nuke in the mid lane, and still facilitating champions for Sheo in the jungle is also perfect for setting them up in the team fights. And then, of course, the big question mark was gonna be Ice, but he's been delivering so far. His lethality virus was perfect as well. So they just seem like they're a team that gel together.
And both these teams are entering this game really comfortably. I feel like you can try stuff when you're in this situation. And at the end of the day, one of them will be the first team locked in playoffs.
And
how
that's
do
big.
we think? And that's huge. But how do we think these two teams are going to play into each other?
Oh, I mean, it will be really interesting in team fights, that's for sure, right? But that's where we kind of favored SK for now, even though BDS has been doing quite fantastic as well when it comes to actually team fights. But one thing I'm gonna be curious is how they're gonna match, especially 3v3 around mid. I think that's something that will decide about how about the flow of the game pretty much. Because, I would say yesterday BDS had such a game where like Labrov was all the time mid lane. They were constantly getting those picks off. I think even Adam came one or two times like he always likes to do. And I think SK has a pretty similar playstyle, and I think that's where the both teams will clash, and that's where the most entertainment will come from.
Well, we'll see how it goes for them. Two teams that look solid so far, with players improving, and if there's one that improved a lot since the beginning of the year, it's of course Irrelevant from SK in the top lane, and Trouble caught up with him again ahead of the game. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Thank you very much, Lore. Irrelevant, thank you for joining me ahead of your game versus BDS. First of all, before I ask you any question, how is the team? How are you guys feeling? How are you feeling being now 4-1 in the league?
I think the team's feeling good. I'm feeling good. But I think it's still just winter split. It's just 5 games. I think we just continue to work hard and don't get ego, don't overreact. Just keep going as we're doing.
Taking one game at a time. Don't get ego.
Yep.
Talking about this, Winter Split last year was the same thing for SK. You guys started very strong. And if I remember correctly, you were the first one to get signed in SK Gaming when the restructure happened last year as well. How has your development been in the team? What have you actively been working on to be so good for this split?
I think I just work on like different stuff every week. Like I just look what my weakest part is right now in terms of my gameplay, and I just try to improve that. There's nothing like particular that I'm working on, just like everything.
You mentioned ego before, and I have to ask you because you kept circling my head. You know, everyone is talking about you right now, Irrelevant. Everyone's like, ooh, is he the new top laner to go and rival the likes of 369s, the Shies when it comes to international success? Does it get to your head at all, as in terms of pressure, the fact that you are so good and people are talking about you?
I think for me, not really. I think even when people are saying like I play well, I can tell myself if I played well a game or not, and I don't really care if they suddenly say I'm the best top laner. Like for example, first week I think I did a lot of mistakes which people just didn't point out, and I think I could play a lot better than this. So no, I don't think it gets to my head.
So great to see you working further for your future and your development, Irrelevant. Now, of course, ahead of the game versus BDS, they're another team that are 4-1 in the league right now. I'm just going to ask you straight up, are you scared of them at all?
Scared, I don't know if it's the right word, but I think Adam is always a bit weird to play into just because of the weird picks he has. I think it's just important to have a good strategy, especially with Adam and draft and in-game planned out, and then I think you will be fine.
Well, thank you. You literally answered my second question in this one as well, because I was about to ask you about Adam. But I'm going to reverse the question here and ask you if you think that he might be more scared to pull off his gods picks versus you now that they're doing so well.
I don't really know Adam too well, but I don't think he's the type of player who would get like intimidated or anything by other players. So I think he will be fine. I will be fine. It will just be a normal game, I think.
Perfect. Irrelevant, thank you very much for joining me. Good luck versus BDS.
Thank you.
And casters, over to you.